it's kind of just this cycle. Everywhere you look, you see the Corona crash, big run up, and now you see a sell off at the end. Next slide is oil. And oil is, you have to make sure you're looking at a daily chart of oil. If you look at a weekly chart, you won't see the closes of these candles back in March. But yeah, the high was back on March 8th. And we actually had Luke Groman on the show at that time, that exact day. And we were talking about oil. So that was very interesting. We got to see what our calls were at the top. But oil tried to regain a new high, but couldn't quite do that. And if you go to the next slide, these are just my technical analysis lines that I've been following. So we had this kind of, I don't know if you call it a flag or a channel, and then a ascending wedge in there. And when it started falling out of that wedge, I was like, okay, well, it's definitely going to the bottom of the channel, and it's probably going lower. And now we see it testing the bottom of the channel back, from April. So very interesting what's going on with oil. I don't know if this is going to continue selling off, but I do think over the next 2 to 5 years, we're going to see lower oil. Any higher high in oil is just going to be temporary because demand is going to fall faster than supply. And
Ansel, so oil prices going down at the pump?
Yes. I mean, I've seen it go down about 10% or so just in my local area over the last couple weeks. That's not going to show up in CPI though, because, I think it's mainly at the end of June, very beginning of July. Even with the travel weekend, I saw multiple places where 2 weeks ago it was $4.79 by where I'm at in Florida, and it was down to about $4.40. So that's a pretty significant move in gasoline prices. And I do expect that to continue because there's just not as much demand to push, relative to supply. So in a recession, we're going to see falling demand and falling prices.